Hey everyone, it's Brett Gildersleeve. I'm here today. I will be demonstrating the Hot Hand USB from Source Audio. This is basically the version of the Hot Hand that plugs directly into your computer with this cool little wireless USB receiver that you can see right here. And I am using this together with Stutter Edit from iZotope, and I'm basically using the Hot Hand ring as a modulation source to control the effects in Stutter Edit. So I should probably say right now that I am a beginner when it comes to Stutter Edit. I downloaded it last night. I have the trial version. I've been using it for about 2 hours at this point, so I am an utter beginner, but I'm just starting to realize the power of this plugin. It's actually really cool to work with, and especially with the Hot Hand, because I can use the Hot Hand to kind of control all of my effects and make a little performance out of it. So I think that's really the idea of Stutter Edit anyway, is sort of a DJ Live performance tool, among other things. So let's get right to it. I have my Ableton Live session open here, and I just created some backing tracks. It's just a little groove, and I have all of those on sends going to my effects bus, and sitting on my effects bus, you can see down here, is iZotope Stutter Edit. I also have Reactor, but that's disabled for now. So, and here we have the Stutter Edit plugin. So the cool thing about Stutter Edit is that basically you can play effects like an instrument. So you press a key on the keyboard and that will activate an effect. And in place of a keyboard, I have my Ableton Push here, kind of my new favorite piece of gear. I've been using it a lot lately. So basically each one of these pads, if I press down on a pad, you can see on the screen that the corresponding gesture, as it's called in Stutter Edit, comes up. So this particular one, I have bit reduction and lo-fi, which is basically sample rate reduction. So the cool thing about Stutter Edit is you can just press the key and magically everything will work. And by that I mean you set up a min and max value, and the parameter will sort of sweep over that range over a given amount of time, which you set in the gesture length. But what I thought would be an interesting thing to do is, instead of letting Stutter Edit do the sweep for me, I would use the Hot Hand ring and control the sweep manually. And so in order to do that, you basically have to set up the Hot Hand using Source Audio's little GUI here. This comes with the Hot Hand. And there are a lot of things on here, but actually it turns out in order to use Stutter Edit, you only need one MIDI continuous control. So I'm using this axis, so you can see as I sort of, this is the pitch axis of my hand. I guess you could think of it that way, right? And this axis is corresponding with this MIDI 1, okay? So you can see when I'm sort of pointing flat or a little bit lower than flat, that's the minimum value. And then as I sweep my hand up, increasing this continuous controller message all the way up to its maximum value of 127. Right. And we have to tell the Hot Hand GUI what continuous controller we want to output. So I'm using continuous controller 1. Which some of the more MIDI savvy people out there might recognize that as the modulation wheel. So what is that doing? Well, that is going into Ableton Live on this dedicated track that I have here called Stutter. And there's nothing on it, it's just a MIDI track. And I'm basically sending the MIDI to my effects bus here, bus B. And on effects bus B, I have iZotope Stutter Edit. Right? So that continuous controller 1 is going into Stutter Edit, and it's not actually doing anything until I open the settings and the options in Stutter Edit, and I have it set here to see continuous controller 1. That is my timeline override MIDI control. So basically the sort of LFO, or the sweep, that typically is happening when you start a gesture in Stutter Edit, instead of having it go automatically, I'm overriding it. I'm overriding the timeline with continuous controller 1, which is the ring. So as I move my hand, you can see here, these parameters are sweeping back and forth. Very cool, right? So I've set up on several of these keys. You see as I press a different pad on the push, I'm getting my different gestures that I've set up, and I did all of these kind of manually, just experimenting with the program a little bit. And so I'll just start my song playing and kind of talk you through it, and we'll see if we can get some interesting sounds out of this. So, alright, here we go. So here's my basic track, just kind of playing along. I'm going to start with my bit reduction lo-fi effect. So pretty cool. Little bit reduction, sample rate reduction, and I can tap this key to turn the gesture on and off, and then as fast as I can move my hand, kind of a cool little effect there. I can also use this pitch wheel, which I have set up to control the global filter. You can see here, global filter in Stutter Edit, right? There's a high pass filter all the way up, low pass filter all the way down, right? And so use that in control in conjunction with my gestures. So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, let's see. Second gesture I have here is a stutter. So here we have it quarter notes. And then speeding up, going all the way to 30-second notes, right? Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's see what I have next here. Okay, little high pass filter, right? With controllable cutoff frequency and resonance. So as I move my hand up, right? Pretty cool. Cool, you can get a little wah-wah effect there, right? Pretty cool. I mean, you can move your hand a lot faster than you could, say, turn a knob or do a strip or something like that. So, right? So it gives you a little more freedom, maybe, than you would have had otherwise. Alright, see, what do I have next here? Oh yeah, we got bit reduction, lo-fi, and the jump pan, which you can hear in the all-way down position. It's making the sound jump back and forth, left to right. And then as I move my hand up, it's moving it closer to the center. It's also bringing down the sample rate. That's a cool effect. Pretty cool. Yeah, at the end there, I actually have this key set up to a generator, noise generator. That's something else you can do in Stutter Edit, but the hot hand's not controlling that. So, just a little sweep like that. So, alright, what do we got next here? Aha, stereo delay. Well, that's kind of interesting. So if I'm not moving the hot hand, it's just going to go back and forth on its LFO. You can see the parameters are sort of sweeping back and forth there on their own, doing their own thing. That's because I'm not moving my hand. But as soon as I start to move my hand, I can override it. pretty cool. Okay. Another high-pass filter, I guess, here, with a more limited range and a set resonance. I can do a little wah-wah effect with that. And I could probably use that together with a low-pass filter. Do a little bandpass filter like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, what else do we have here? Buffer position. This is cool. So you can see there we're basically we're chopping a section of audio up into different pieces, and we're playing back. It's basically sort of a controlled stutter, but you're choosing where in the measure you're picking your sample from, I guess. I can sort of jump back and forth there. That's cool. Ooh, that's cool. I should probably say that this is totally experimentation for me. As I said, I've only really had this for about, well, a couple hours, so... Cool. And I think that's basically all that I've programmed in. Oh, got one more, I think. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. So, there you have it. That is the Source Audio Hot Hand USB. And I am controlling iZotope Stutter Edit with that, just doing a little experimentation. Maybe in time for NAMM, I will have some more cool stuff to show you. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.